Hello, and welcome to the finale of Home of Masks. In the last episode, we started within the Fracture District, the large spire that goes up into the center of Irranshys. The same spire that holds several of the buildings that even some of our members here had worked at before. It has the school, it has the Hall of Purging, and at the very tip, it has the home of Halleth Purging. But instead of going up, let's stay on the ground floor, as we had gone over to the Hall of Purging, met up with a couple of the clerics there, and learned information that any of the clerics nearby have been assisting to make sure the spire does not fall. You got access to the Hall of Purging, went inside, did a little bit of exploring, and got some information leading you to believe that Myrrh Dorvyre is the one doing all of this. Going across the Fracture District, we went to the Halleth Academy, to one of the lead people's offices, to find blueprints and potentially find more information on the circumstances that are going on right now. Find the blueprints. There is a beautiful cave system and network that goes down deeper into the fracture itself. Finding the secret entrance into one of the lecture halls, it was wide open. Heading in, traversing into this ramshackle cave started to turn more and more crystalline as you saw the ex-soldier Kordrack ripped into several pieces by something or someone. Freaking you out a little bit, you took a little bit more caution going deeper down, casting hallucinatory terrain using the spellbook from Faerundul, and seemingly got yourself completely illusioned into the main fracture section of the city, where two figures stood next to a giant hole in the ground of prismatic coloring. One figure, named Myrrh Dorvyre, and another figure seemingly injured and quite pregnant, Lady Llorva, Iyanthyra. Approaching with Elixir, you got closer, attempted to speak, but it seemed as though Myrrh Dorvyre didn't seem to care, as a second, older version of them landed next to you and attacked. Combat ensued, many heavy hits on both sides have been done, but where we ended was with a calm emotion spell, making both the Myrrh Dorvyres less interested in combat at the very second. Elias attempted to speak a little bit to them, doing the best they could with a natural 20, but it seemed as Myrrh Dorvyre wasn't fully phased, but they showed a single tear rolling down their face. So where we begin in the initiative order is with the layer action.
Yay! I love layer actions.
Which is a D4, and if I roll a 2, things could potentially start popping off again. That is a 3. If you want, I can take a picture.
No, I believe you.
I need everyone to roll a D6.
Never mind.
And that includes both the Myrrh Dorvyres. They rolled very poorly.
Alright.
Hopefully this doesn't deal 1 tick of chip damage. That would be really bad.
So we are going to start with Marlavor. What did you roll?
That's a 1.
Alright, roll a D4 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll get my D.
That is a 2.
You can get a second level spell slot or 2 first level spell slots back.
Oh, fuck yeah.
As you see the orb that goes over, that like kind of hovers around Myrrh Dorvyre, starts to get smaller and then blast out in a large surge of magic as everyone regains abilities.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you, or can I
It does
think about
not
it?
matter. Farandul, what did you roll on your d6? You rolled a 4. Roll me a d4. I need everyone to roll a d4 as well, but just don't add them because they're two different numbers.
Yeehaw.
Shit, no, fell. 4.
Okay. Let's see here. I almost forget how I did this. You can get up to 4 4th level spell slots back. You get 16 levels worth of spells, no higher than 4.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is a full recharge, and for
Jeez.
Elias, you don't have spell slots, so you're just going to get your Ash back. You are going to be getting some abilities back as well. I had it in my head a couple weeks ago, but just start marking stuff off that you've used.
Okay.
Elixar, our final spell slot person.
6 and 1.
Okay, so you can get up to a 6th level spell slot back.
Oh, that is just what the doctor ordered.
Or you could
Okay.
get 3 2nd level spells, 2 3rd levels, etc.,
But
etc.
six number worth.
Yes.
Yeah. That is exactly what I needed. Okay.
Which now I have to
W
roll
layer
for
action.
them.
Would it have been 24 worth if I would have rolled
Yep.
max?
If
on
you
the-
rolled max, you would have gotten 24 spell levels worth to regain.
Oh,
Ooh.
heavens. I want
Um,
that one again.
I don't think the little Orb of Magics gets anything back.
That's how I talk about.
The old Orb of Magics, my bad. Yep, they would get nothing back. They got 3 1st level spell slots back, so they get nothing. The other one gets 4 2nd level spell slots back, which they used for Misty Step, and that's literally it. So they get 1 spell back. So out of everything, you guys probably prospered the most. So Elias, what did you get on your D6 and D4?
So on my funny enough, on my D6, I also rolled a 4, and the D4 a 2.
Right. Yeah, you get basically up to 8th level stuff back.
So in my case, would that be like
That would be your blood curses and all that stuff.
Brand of Castigation and everything?
Which is a 6th level, so most likely yes.
Yeah. Okay, word.
Yep, so you guys
Castigate.
are very strong again. So that ends the layer action, which I was hoping that one would come up not in this circumstance. Myrrh Dorvyre, it is your turn.
Okay. Well. They are not attacking us. In
And
any
they
way, shape, or
can't
form.
move.
I was just about to ask.
I'm gonna get closer.
Do they redo that check
And-
every turn, or is that just for a minute they're stuck?
It says for the curse of binding, it is.
You can get back to me on it
Okay,
while,
okay.
while Val does stuff.
Good. So we're not attacking, and this is an action, so I might as well use it now when it's not going to be wasted later. As I approach her, I'm gonna get closer. Just
Them.
walk up to them. Sorry, I'm gonna walk up to them, not non-threateningly. That I can see that they've kind of like their demeanor's kind of changed. Just kind of walk up to them, and I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality. That's an action.
Okay.
And that's an aura of 30 feet. And as a bonus action, I can heal anyone 2d6. So, anyone in my aura. So, who's looking real bad here?
I am within 10 feet of you.
Yeah. I guess you could take the first. I don't think I was concentrating on anything else. So, this lasts a minute. I can do it every turn.
All right.
And that was my last 3rd level spell. So, Elixir, you heal for. Do I add anything? It's just a 2d6. It's just a 2d6. So you heal 5. I didn't roll great on that. And I'm gonna start making my way like over. And as I walk over, I'm just gonna. What is your goal? What do you intend to accomplish? We all, especially you, elves who have more of a lifespan than me, I feel like you always have to leave your mark in some way or form. So what was the point of this? What do you want?
Give me.
And I'm saying just right here, so it's not menacing.
Yeah. Your tone is menacing.
It's a genuine question.
Yeah,
That's
you can
just
give me persuasion.
It's like saying Denzel Washington's tone is menacing. He can't help it.
Yeah. That rolled off my desk. What the fuck? I need to stop rolling so, like, hard. Because I'm not rolling into my dice tray. I'm just rolling on my desk, and they're rolling off. Persuasion?
Yes.
21. Not that good.
Okay. This city was founded so long ago by two main groups of elves. The ones that fall under Haleth, and the other was the Dorvyre family. A name you don't hear much anymore. That's all they really have to say on that note.
The Dorvyre family. Is it?
That's their last name.
That is their name. That's their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up next
Well,
would be
I guess that's
Queensguard.
my turn.
And Monty, yes, it's at the
Yeah,
end.
I did check as well.
Word.
I am going to take my final potion bottle, because I only have one more, and I'm not going to drink it. I'm going to place it on the ground, stomp on it, and with my newly regained 5th level spell slot, I'm going to cast Animate Object on the shards of glass, and so it's slam them on the ground with my with the food that I carry with me. I cast a little note onto each of the 10 shards of glass, and they are just going to hover in front of me in sort of a circular shield pattern. They're not going to leave a cloud shape, so I'm gonna draw them out and I'm just gonna have them as a circle in front of me.
All right.
And after doing this, I'm going to say, I know that you feel that you have been wronged by the city, its royals, the people who give themselves power, but bloodshed is not the answer. The murder of innocents is not the answer. There are things wrong with the world and politics and all of that. But there are thousands of people dying, and that is a waste. That is a bigger waste than the time that you claim we are wasting.
Give me a history check.
Most of this might have been out of my ass. History check's gonna be a 15.
So based off of what they just said, their family was one of the founding families of this fracture and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There were 9 royal families. Now there's only 8.
That's definitely the Dorvyres.
When the Sylvaluur family rised to power, the Dorvyre family got second. They were in the running to be the leading king and queen of the city, but lost to the Sylvaluur family. And that's about all you can recall from stories you've heard from your grandfather.
Okay. Can I add into the things that I said then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Look. Call all of this off and we can sit down, have an audience. I will be there supporting you. We will all support you, and we will bring back your royal house. We can get rid of the monarchy. Democracy, I've read theory about such things. We could do something like that. Maybe councils. But this is not the way.
There is no bringing back my family. I was the only one to survive. And that was over 200 years ago.
Oh, it's an assassination.
So your speaking does fall on a bloodline of dead ears. A bloodline brought about by the city that we founded. They are barely holding their composure.
Can I respond?
Sure.
What if we can bring them back?
There's nothing left of them. There is no bringing someone back from that far away.
Volunteered you for that. That's my bad. All right. Dang, we might have to kill this person. All right. That's
All I
don't
know
say
how
that.
to do is help those that can't help themselves, because that's what my family went through. Up next is Big Myrrh Dorvyre's turn.
Gang, I need the ball to get to me. I think I
5,
might be able to
10,
help.
15, 20, 25. The large Myrrh Dorvyre just goes and continues their patrol route to the entrance of the cave. Then it is the regular Myrrh Dorvyre who can't move. They just sit there, just contemplating. Professor Farandul, it is your turn.
Okay. There. Oh, right here. Duh, right next to me. I want to kind of go up to the Orb of Magic. I want to go up to them. And I want to try to talk to them. And be like,
You also give me a history check.
cool, that's the one thing I've got a lot of plus to.
Yeah, the two nobles would be the ones that know this information.
That's gonna. Oh shit.
You do have a bardic inspiration if you need it.
Oh, I'm gonna do that too.
Which is how much, Jackson? D8?
D8.
There you go.
There we go. 6.
So a 24, I believe. Everything that Elixir knew. Family died. They're one of the founding families of the city. They built their own name after their entire family died. But the way that their family died, and the fact that there used to be 9 noble houses, now there's 8. There was a really bad storm a very long time ago, and an errant lightning strike took out their house and everyone inside.
And while I can't imagine what it would be like to lose my entire family, and I did lose my my second wife, unfortunately, in a bad accident, and I was angry at the world and blamed myself for a very long time that I didn't do enough, couldn't do enough, and it just kind of eats away at you. Say the city dies, right? Then everyone's dead. No one can, keep the history of your people, of your family going. Because as long as the knowledge that you guys have, your customs, stuff like that, as long as that lives on, so does your family. Physical bodies are only here for so long. Eventually, we are all gonna just be nothing but dust. But as long as we have people to carry on those traditions and that knowledge, and the things that keep our families unique, stories worth telling, I think that is what is most important, because you can't go back. You'll always want to, but you can't go back. However, you can choose what to do going forward. And say the city gets destroyed, city burns. Then your history is still dead. Because we'll all be dead. There's no one to share that with. So maybe we could, like, stop the violence for a minute. And, you want a hug?
They're full tears at this point.
Come here.
And being this close to them, you see the features on their face. They're supposed to be super old at this point. Looking over at the large Myrrh Dorvyre, it's less of Myrrh Dorvyre and more of their mother. In a very old age. But they're...
Is that actually their mom, or is it like
it's not.
Visage? Okay. Plot twist, mom's alive. No.
It's just like they were trying to keep some semblance of anything, but it's just been crumbling. And they'll accept your hug. Like, they're a broken person at this point.
You can let it out. Holding it in's gonna do nothing but give you ulcers. Trust me, I know.
Just touching their body, you can feel the of magic, like, emanating out of them. It's uncontrollable for them as well.
Is it kind of like their emotions are tied to their magic? In a way, or?
Not really, but they've just lost themselves over the many years.
I just want to just kind of keep hugging them. Are they crying? I hope
they are.
Not in a bad way.
But, like, everyone else looking out, in this hug, you can see the orb that follows them is just expanding.
Kill my ass. No, just kidding. Please don't.
Elias, it is your turn. Top of round 4, I believe.
It was the end of their turn, so they can try to
That's true.
break the save.
Which was a strength save. They have a +0, 16.
Yeah. 15's the save.
They're no longer restrained, but doesn't seem like they're moving now that they're holding on to Farandel.
As the ash kind of swirls around her and finally dissipates, while she is hugging Farandel, while they are hugging Farandel, I kind of make eye contact with them. You are more than your title. You are so important to so many people here. Your knowledge, strength, and power about culture and magic in general is an asset that everyone here appreciates, and if they don't, then they are stupid.
But my title, and so like a shockwave goes out, is just a mere object.
You are more than an object. I actually, the shockwave goes out. I stab my rapier into the ground to like not be pushed away, and I still try to move closer and closer.
Yeah, I need everyone to give strength checks.
Does my
this would
little
be
shield do anything?
Sick
or
if
is
I
it
roll
just
a
straight
nat
roll?
20.
Your shield? What?
The little like wall of glass.
Sure, I'll give you like a +1.
6.
So Elias,
If
said
you're
20.
within 10 feet,
I rolled
you get
no.
+1?
I rolled a 21.
Okay.
I said it would be sick if I rolled an actual 20, but I
Farandel?
keep stabbing. Oh my god.
A 2.
Perfect.
3 minus
Let's
1.
go.
I'm assuming Marlavor is going to succeed this. I think he's frozen, so I'll just say yes,
Oh,
he
no.
succeeds it. 510.
Okay.
510. As the Aniris family gets pushed away ever so slightly. And the orb is just continuing to grow. You can feel it just taking in this prismatic energy from the room.
I still. Is there a way that because I didn't get pushed away, do I have enough movement to get close to her, to them? As I get
how's
closer,
it feel? This is the Bivrel treatment.
I love Bivrel. As I get close to them, I just want to be there. Whatever you need from me, with enough time, because resurrection is way later type of magic. Because we don't have revivifies and stuff like that in this time period.
Correct.
I just look at them. I'm currently, and I have the notes, and I have the backing, and I have the proof to bring people back from the dead. If I can do it quickly, I know that with enough time, I can do it with further and further back. I know I can. And if you need me to do it, I will be at your service. And I grab their hand. I don't know what you're dealing with. I can't imagine what you've been through. However, I know it's a risk, but I wanted to save them. And you've told me the risk earlier when we played last session. I want to hold their hand and do grim psychometry.
Oh!
Give me a history check at advantage.
Hope you like a blindfold, buddy.
It's worth it. I want to save everyone here.
Flashbang.
If this makes me blind and I can feel what they're feeling, this is a sacrifice I'm willing to take. That's what I needed. That is, for history, a total of 24.
Holding onto their hands, you find yourself in a field surrounded by many other elves, most of which you just don't recognize. You look down at the hands once more, pristine elven hands. Nothing out of the ordinary about them. Pretty pale, nonetheless, but nothing besides that. Walking with a group, you feel an arm go around your shoulder and you see a young man. You don't recognize him. You think we're ever going to make it out of this age? These giants are always coming after us. I think we will. No reason not to. And kind of presses forward and meets up with some of the other elves in front. You feel your pulse, it just slows down. You wake up. You're in a spherical room. There's a person on a table in front of you, writhing in pain. You can see their veins are filled with just pure arcana. They have no control of themselves. The firebolts are being shot off in all directions without any preservation of life within the room, but you just block them out of the way. You put a needle into their vein, and you use magic to pull it out into this thread that just gets trapped into your fingernails and goes into your hands, and you feel the writhing pain they had gone through, but you can handle it. A few more years go by, and that pain's just constant, going throughout the entire body. There's several points in time where you feel like you're in 3 places at once. there's a second version of you in front of you, but you're not in front of a mirror. You're sculpting a second version of yourself. And you do put some of the energy into that being, but it just withers. It starts to age at an extremely high rate. So you think you fail, but it does start to have regular controls, but it's more feral than you were hoping. You just hold that face for a long time as the vision just goes blurry with tears. And you hear yourself say, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry I wasn't there." You hear lightning strikes as you keep going back into those moments of being outside of the manor when it all occurred. Having to fend for yourself in a city that doesn't care about many people. Finding your way into the Hall of Purging, becoming an important member there, healing those that didn't care to heal yourself. You can't rely on others. You have to do it yourself. In those moments of pulling energy out of people, all you can think about is your siblings. You see their faces in the faces of the people writhing in pain. And that's what keeps you going forward for as long as you do. You get rewarded the title Orb of Magics. You find an artifact outside of the city, and it seems to be able to quell that power. But it's never enough. There's always one more step. The next thing you see is Elias's face. You see yourself looking at yourself in this moment. There's two sets of thoughts going on in the head. One that is feral, angry, destructive, and one that is just in the fetal position crying. It's a very new feeling from all the visions you've had.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that is screaming is so loud that the other side feels so small.
Keep going, I'm sorry.
Because I'm getting to the very end of it now.
Yeah.
On an outside perspective, what you all see, the rest of the people in this room, the urns on Elias explode and start to just wrap around both of them, turning almost a molten color. For an ash to melt is near impossible, but there is this energy glow surrounding the two of them that just kind of starts making an umbrella above that just drips down throughout this entire moment. The dreads are just going all over the place. You're gonna have to fix them later. I'm so sorry for your hairdo.
It is fine.
But just like, you just feel the pulses of magic going out from that moment. Elias, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
If you got close enough to the orb, is he in my radius? Or
Theoretically, if they were touching, yes.
okay, you get a +5 then.
Oh, it makes it even better. So 18 plus 5 is 20, what, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
20. So 28.
You do not become the thing that you treasure most. Ash. You hold yourself together. Roll me a d4. A 1 or a 2, you lose your left arm. A 3 and a 4, you lose your right arm.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Elias knew what they were doing, and they don't regret this choice. 3.
Your right arm has evaporated under the molten power that has been draining from your ash above.
As they're, because in my head I imagine they grabbed with the left, so the right is gone. They embrace that pain, and they just move closer and still make eye contact with them. You are not a monster. You are strong. You are powerful. And I know you have the strength to not be enslaved by your demons. Free yourself. And I wipe that tear off their eye with the left hand, because I know you have the strength.
Yeah. In that moment, you are looking at yourself. The version of them that was crying still wants to help people. So you know that there is still that urge to assist people with whatever they need down there.
As I wipe the tear and the arm falls away, and I try to encourage them, you've been taking and taking and taking from people for so long. I look down at the arm that's slowly withering away into ash. I think it's only fair that I try to ease some of your pain.
Looking down at their hand, some of that scarring has disappeared.
I'm not fighting you.
Well, now I get to decide what's about to happen. Let me see what I roll. Fuck you. Everyone's basically max spell slots at this point. I don't give a shit. The orb gaining more and more power shrinks down, blasts out again, and people regain more of their spell slots.
Oh gosh.
I'll just roll for everyone. Everyone gains 3 5th level spell slots or lower.
I don't even have that, so.
Yep. So you get 15 levels worth of stuff, is how that works.
Cool.
Marlavor, it is your turn.
I'm basically back at full spell slots because yeah.
I'm
My
never gonna
turn.
roll a
All right.
fucking 4.
Oh, all right, cool.
Elias, is there anything that you want to convey to the team about what you have recently heard or saw, I guess I should say?
Yeah, I would convey that they have been taking so much magic from everyone to the point where they can help. They have the ability to help and they want to help us. It's just that they are in this like pit of like depression, sadness. It's just it's all encompassing and overshadowing their being.
Yeah, their head is basically fully down, but their body is still ready for combat if it comes down to it. It's like you can see the duality just in their person.
My arm is gone, but I'm still like holding on to my rapier is sheathed at this point. And at this point the piles of ash is kind of just all over the battlefield. We can save them. I think we can. Can we? I don't want them to get hurt. We have to save them.
Marlavor, it's your turn as you hear them starting to laugh and cry to themselves with their head down.
Cool. Bonus action, because I still don't know if
Divine
it's gonna
Smite.
pop off.
Oh.
I'm going to use my.
Oh my God.
Myself. I'll heal myself for 6 points with my already ongoing spell, my aura of vitality, and then I'll walk closer. Sure, I'll walk right up to them. You said your family helped the weak. How would they feel about this? How would they feel about what you're doing?
I don't know.
You can still help. You can still help stop this.
I
If you
need
need,
to surge power. That's all I have left. They're like rocking back and forth with the energy that's coursing through them.
there's magic coursing through them, or is it coming from the orb?
Like, it's starting to go through both at this point. With that second
Cool.
surge of getting spells back, they're basically topped off as well. So they are now in super dangerous territory.
Cool. I'm gonna try and take a page from Elias.
I lost the orb. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. And I'm going to place a hand on the orb very gently and try to if they're exuding magic, I'm gonna try to siphon some of it off and just do as high level as I can divine smite on the ground. I'm just gonna hit the ground. I'm trying to get rid of this magic. If that's what we're doing, I'm not hitting them. I'm not hitting them. I'm not hitting anything. I'm just hitting the ground with as much divine smite magic as I can.
Like discharge it.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Go
All
back.
right. So you grab onto them and then you just swing at the ground.
Yeah, I grab onto them and I just kind of like try to feel the power through me as I usually do. Like usually my power, my divine smites come from inside me, so I feel like the power pass through me and just kind of like fuel me and go into my weapon as I just slam the flail into the ground.
Give me an athletics check.
Is
Okay.
Lady Llorva dead?
18.
You start swinging down, the smoke comes out of the sensor as it hits the ground. Just starts shattering the ground around you, and your sensor is destroyed.
That's about right. Yeah.
As it goes pure white hot and just melts.
That's about time I got a new one anyway. Just toss it to the ground. Did it look like it helped at all?
Not as much as what Elias had done.
Oh, do I have anything else I can do? I don't think so.
But they are covering themselves from the shrapnel of the many shards that just go flying around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
All right, Queen's Guard LXR.
I have an idea, but there is a very strong chance that it kills me at least. And by kill, I don't even mean like the curse. I mean drops me to 0 HP. So how close do we have to be to them to get this like increased magic sense?
At this
kinda deal?
point, you have to touch them.
Okay, so I can't do it yet. So I'm just going to move 30 feet forward, and as I pass through like the cloud of floating glass, it just forms itself onto like a second sheath on my other hip. So I'm going to move forward 30 feet. This way. And I know that it's not how this works, but do you think if I shot out another bout of calm emotions that I can make them more calm? Like more chill?
You can certainly try.
Only
Question.
would they hate? Would this be a hostile act? Like, would my common sense tell me that this is a hostile act?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay, this is the closest thing that I have to helpful. So yeah, I'm going to cast another bout of Calm Emotions, and since this is a sorcerer spell, it is a touch the temple, open palm, sort of nice warm ray of pink pink lemonade light coming out of my hand.
What level are you casting it at?
So upcasting it doesn't do anything, but in this situation, I feel like it would make sense if it did. So I'm going to cast it at 5th level.
All right. It's charisma
So
saves.
Yep. I
Yeah,
say
you're just hitting. You're
it's
just
not
hitting the
critical
one,
lasers,
right?
though. Yeah, just the one orb, the one that is right there, in between Marlevor and Elias.
That
That one?
is a natural 1.
So as I approach, I send out the little warm light, and I say, none of us here wants any kind of harm to come to you, or to the weak in the city that are currently being called. This is not past the point of no return.
They look up towards you, Elixar. Are you sick?
Very. And I take 5 points of damage, and bile comes out of my eyes.
On their turn, they are going to walk up to you.
No.
Take your head in their hands.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, as a reaction, you're not
Attack
down.
of opportunity! I suplex! I'm just kidding. I would never.
It's things that are violent. I was gonna say,
It's fine. They're fine.
okay. I'm just I don't want them to absorb more.
Yeah. No, before
Okay.
they do, before they do anything, I'm like, this isn't like some of the other ailments you may have cured. This illness, under these circumstances, may be very, very dangerous for you to take in like this.
I know. It's fine. As they grab your face, they look over towards you, Elias. And they grab the Orb of Magic and send it into your direction.
Into my direction?
Yeah, just a soft lob to you. That's yours now.
Okay.
Oh, this is...
Now, I need everyone to leave. There isn't much time.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just grab... with the remaining power I have of Ash, as I'm running out, I'm trying to scoop out Farandul, Marlevor. I'm trying to Gara sand bend, grab people with sand hands and just push them out of here. And just
don't forget the lady.
And I'll grab
Lady Llorva.
Lady Llorva as I'm just running one hand, Ash hand, and then the other just actual hand as I run out.
Yeah. The big old I want to keep saying Marlevor, it's so bad. Myrrh Dorvyre walks over and just sits down next to the Orb of Magics, the previous Orb of Magics, and Queen's Guard Elixir as you guys continue to run.
Can I?
Yeah.
Leaving, I just want to, just as we're leaving the room, because we're leaving Elixir in there, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Would it be possible for me to use message on one of them, and then use message on the other?
Yeah, that's fine. Because we're not in initiative
Okay.
anymore.
Okay, cool. So I would lock eyes with my cousin, be and he knows he's I'm about to send him a message. It's not a certain amount of words, right?
No. It's a
Cool. I know there's one that there is, and I
sending is
didn't want to be like,
25.
oh
Sending.
shit. Just be I don't know what you're doing necessarily, but I trust you. And if I don't see you again, you owe me a fucking pint in the afterlife, bitch.
I don't know if this will kill me
Bitch.
since they are touching.
I don't know either, but
Yeah, but
if it's
I'm going to say back now in your head, one word, just with my telepathy statue.
And then after that exchange, I want to send another message over to the former Orb of Magics.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, regardless of what happens tonight, I'm going to make sure people don't forget your family and don't forget you. While I hope you'll be there to tell the story with us, if not, just know that this is not the end of your family. And then I'm going to book it.
You all start running and running, traveling back up the many switchbacks of this cave system. About 5 minutes in, all the crystals around start to glow in this insane amount of energy, as from in front of you, you see what can only be described as pure magic being pulled down into the fracture. I need all of you to make athletics checks. And if you want to figure out some way to assist yourselves, you can see it coming. You have time to figure out what you want to do.
So, since magic is heightened here and we're all running, I was going to say, in theory, or depending on how you want to work this, can I grab Farandul and try to pull in everyone else around me to Aether Walk? And try to just move past this to get up and out?
You absolutely could try. What is your blood hunter stat? Like, what is your blood hunter stat thing? Is it wisdom?
Yeah, mine is wisdom.
Give me a wisdom check with advantage.
Okay.
Farandul and Marlavor, anything you want to do or try to assist with?
I was gonna cast Bless, but it only fucking helps for attack rolls and saving throws, so this does not help.
Is the magic like coming at us from a specific direction?
It's coming from the way you came in originally. Like, at this point, you have already passed the body of Kordrack once more, if you wanted to pick him up.
Okay.
But you are about halfway out of these caves as you see the tunnel in front of you lighting up with pure magic flying at you. Lightning, fire, acid, everything coming at you in a very quick succession.
So this is pure magic?
That's what it seems like.
If I can do anything, I guess kind of like an action or a reaction, I don't know. To what seems more dangerous or what's close, I'm just gonna start casting Dispel Magic.
Okay.
17 plus 4 for Elias to try to help everyone in this moment.
Yeah. The Dispel Magic puts a small shield up that gives you enough time to get everyone close enough. For the first time, Marlavor and Farandul, you see the Aether. The weave around you. You can still see the outlines of the cave, but you're able to move a lot more freely in this moment. It's a crazy feeling. As you see the magic blast past you and go deeper and deeper down where you know that Myrrh Dorvyre and Elixar are at. As they're holding your face, Elixar, I'm so sorry you've had to deal with all of this.
Oh, it's nothing really.
Their energy is just sourcing through you. Born to live and born to die, we find 4 souls here that get to move on. 2 that have been trapped, and 2 that are here as well. But this is my final words. What are Alexar's final words?
I knew it. Oh. Gosh. Okay. The final words would just be to, Myrrh Dorvyre, correct?
Mm-hmm. And the essence around.
He takes a good look around and briefly thinks this was not in my job description, but alas. And he looks at Myrrh Dorvyre and says, I chose a humble profession so that I could serve my city. And in this way, I think this is the most that I will ever do for her. God save the queen.
As the older Myrrh Dorvyre has already shrunk at this point and becomes big again, wraps around both of you. Young Myrrh Dorvyre puts their head up to your forehead as your mind just gets ripped in twain. But you don't know if that's what initially killed you, as in that exact moment you see a bright light, as all the magic that was in the city goes into one central point between the two of you. Mystified in this room. And I think with that we will go into the epilogue of this series. A mere 2 days later, the Grand Sorcerer comes back with all of the people that he had taken to wherever he had gone. He is now mute. He is not able to speak as he no longer has a tongue. Most of the elves that went there and back don't remember much. They don't know where they were. They don't know how they got back. They're still trying to figure out why they were running. But over the next month, everything, on their end at least, starts to go back to normal. I need to find the right music for this. So, I kind of leave it to you all. What is the epilogue of your character's story?
Ooh. Well, I don't mind going first. Elias would probably, after now having the Orb of Magics that was given, the Orb of Magic given to by Myrrh Dorvyre, he would spend a lot of his time keeping his promise, repolishing the workings of experience death, and that leads eventually later to the spells that we have, like Revivify, and with that amount of magic, even further to try to eventually grasp resurrection. And it's only for a blip of time, but at some point they do still try to hunt down the killer, Armani, and but only as a reminder, but only as a way to find closure. After that, it's just trying to help everyone, and almost as a, I don't know how to describe it in a fantasy sense, but using their gifts to help people, like almost a therapist, really, like a therapist actually, to use their grim psychometry to feel other people's pain and try to help them move forward. And whether that's move forward as in accept their situation, or move forward as in let's try to build a bridge to get somewhere else. Giving himself wholly, even until death, at I don't know how long, but even in death, they want to give themselves 100%. They would probably, at a certain point, think about the things that happened at the party, and probably reconcile and try to talk to, or at least see where Professor Farandul has going on, and ask them out on a date, probably. And just to see if that goes anywhere, since they shared a common interest of expanding magic, but also caring about the people around them, and just giving themselves to magic and to their society.
Do you keep the Orb of Magic hidden from the world?
I think that would be a choice that eventually they would talk to Farandul about. And would be like, should we keep this hidden from the public? What do you think?
I think we should take the time to study it properly and make sure that regardless of how we use it, it's not going to endanger other people, like on a grand scale.
I trust your opinion.
But I don't want to just throw it out completely, because there are, I mean, with the research you've been doing into, resurrection and stuff like that, and with my new apprentice, I forget what the dude's name who I failed is.
Oh God, Damali Esperis. Damali.
Yeah,
Damali.
Esperis.
With he's my new apprentice. And the work Damali's doing, and he's growing incredibly quickly in his abilities, but I think between at least the three of us, if not more, at the university and in the city, I think if we work together to try to do it safely but still use it, that would be, the best option, in my opinion.
People should know about Myrrh Dorvyre's story. I
of course
agree full-heartedly.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we keep it to a very we let people know that, I guess, more in the university standard, that it's there, and only certain people know about it. It's very much we talk about the culture and what's involved, and we lay it all out there.
Yeah. I'll say, most likely in the far future, a one Matrium Esperis is most likely the current holder of the Orb of Magic. Not as powerful as it was 600 years prior, but still enough to be a good arcane focus that makes it so that their job is easier in whatever they're doing.
Great. At the end of their life, I think Elias's death wouldn't be something that's mourned or sad. It would be definitely mourned, but it definitely would be in the same way that how Armani looked at life, which is that life and death are just different chapters of the same book. And that he would just, at a certain point, even give his body to science and to magic and decompost their body. I don't know how to describe it in a way. Be a tree. He would want to be a tree.
I was gonna say there's probably a tree of Ashwalkers somewhere in the world where most of them will most likely end up. Yeah. Who wants to go next?
Like, I mean, I can go. I'll have a shorter lifespan, so I won't take that long. As the half elf, so probably not shortly after, I would think about my legacy, what I'm leaving behind, what I want to leave behind in this world. What is it that I want to do? I would probably first thing I would do is probably try to get work things out with Brinoa, as we're on again, off again, and maybe try and have kids at some point before I die, even though I'm already very old. But in that meantime, I work on expanding the underground, not just as a arena, but as kind of a safe haven for anyone who might need a place to stay off the streets, might need a job in other cases. If as a safe haven for in the future refugees or whatever people might need. Expand it more into like an underground city as much as I can in my time. And at some point in those few years, I'd call in a favor that I was owed and destroy a statue that was given to me. And as we have decided to go on and tell Myrrh Dorvyre's story and Elixir's story, I would, right in the front of the arena, I would make a statue of their final moments of that last embrace with their names, not their titles, as the plaque. And as my last thing, the ring that I hold on my finger, I would start a rumor that the ring, whoever possesses it, is the next in line as king of the underground. On my deathbed, in my final moments.
Well, there was one other thing you were gonna do before that, though.
Was there? I forget.
Yeah, you were gonna fight a big boy.
I was. I don't know if that ever came to fruition.
It would have.
I would like to. Yeah? Well, if that kills me, then it killed me. I want to...
I'd probably say you succeeded the first time, but then got cocky.
Mm-hmm. Setting up as everything that I wanted. Getting a convoy to where they were last spotted. Try to set up an outside arena instead of an inside arena, because getting a giant to the underground would probably be difficult. But I would have set up this huge event. I found one of the last remaining giants, and your king is going to slay it. Gathering as many people as I can to watch, and using all of my might and everything at my disposal, and along with a brand new sparkly weapon, I slay the beast, solidifying my name. In the meantime, as the king of the underground. That is until I try again, because I am cocky, and I will try again. And at my age, at that point, I definitely do not succeed.
And that is not the end of Marlevore's story, surprisingly enough. As, from what we've talked about, the soul of Marlevore did go into the ring. The ring of the self-crowned king is still around somewhere on Telia. Farandul,
I'm done.
your epilogue.
Sorry if I talked for a hot minute. Walking out of the underground caverns with everybody, as soon as the magic started coming, I mean, I said a little thing to my cousin knowing that he probably wouldn't come, but even so, tears just like waterfalls, knowing that the person who was one of their closest, not only family members, but companions, to be gone like that. And just goes back to our manor and changes out all the house colors for mourning colors. Take down all the pretty blues and greens and put up, while you think black would be the mourning color, and it would be a great color for him, we actually do a mixture of black and white. Like tapestries to kind of show the duality of like life and death, and that one is not necessarily evil, and that mourning stuff. I'm trying to think of cool stuff. At the university, I decide to spend a decent amount of our family's money into opening this Hall of Remembrance for anyone who has their story to tell. Whether or not somebody ever reads it, they will be recorded if they'd like, and have it up in these magical records. Because as long as their stories live on, so do they. And it dedicated to the Dorvyre family, the Dorvyre Archives of Remembrance. With a nice portrait of them on the inside in like the kind of like seated area. I do what my cousin said. I get that bitch a statue. The
Now he's got
biggest,
two.
gaudiest. Yeah, more statues. I'm like everywhere. As talking with the queen, I'd like to also set up almost like a specialized training facility for guards to become, the next Queen's Guard. And have that named after my cousin. He's dead. Definitely say yes to the fucking date invite from Elias. Like, oh my goodness. Yes. So hopefully that goes somewhere. I take in what's his name? Damali as my apprentice. And even though he's probably terrified of going back to that school after I kind of maybe failed him, I keep him as my apprentice because while he's a silly little guy, he's got potential. And he filled not necessarily a complete hole in my life, but brought more to it. I'm gonna try introducing him to one of my daughters, see what goes on there. Maybe get a son-in-law, you never know. And while Elixar is now gone, being the head of the family, I kind of start seeing more the importance of family and bringing some of my children back. Gonna try work on being not a bad dad, because I was really bad. And just kind of got a little quieter in life, but not in the amount of activities it's doing. Just kind of like, you know how like old men walk with their arms behind their back and they just ponder? It takes lots of little walks in the garden. And where there's a third statue, I'm like, one at the academy, one at home, one anywhere else I can stick it. I'm like, this guy, you do some stuff. And yeah, just live out my life, trying to enrich other people's as much as possible, while also doing as much as I can to add to the history. Whereas before, I was more interested in going off on my own adventures and collecting artifacts and being out there. For new adventures, I've decided to take my life dedicated to capturing other people's, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'm totally going to try to hook Damali up with one of my daughters. Or sons. Got a few.
Damali does have to have a son at some point. So.
Hey! Aunt Elias, you want to come move in, baby? Oh my god.
He would want to spend that life with you.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
So I'm not the head of the family alone anymore.
We would have a very pondering, introspective wedding, or just existence.
Literally, I'm gonna invite all my like brothers and sisters, and they're gonna be like, your third wedding? Are you serious? And I'm gonna, listen. Sometimes the first one doesn't work out, sometimes the second one dies. 3 is a magic number. I don't want any more.
3's the magic number.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Any last remarks from Alexar, wherever he may be now?
Have you ever peeled the veil on afterlives in your campaign?
It's very amorphous. Each person has their own circumstance, depending on religious aspects or not.
Oh goodness, I don't know what elf religion is.
Like, it could just be how you feel about everything that you've just heard in the epilogue. Of how Alexar would react.
Wherever he is, whether he got sent to Elf Heaven, Feywild, Elf Hell for stalking all those people, or became a demigod from getting exploded in magic, who knows? You know, I'm not saying. But he is still going to be watching his city, but now in a more amorphous sort of peace than the workaholic ways that he was in life.
Because the pain has finally ended.
Indeed.
So, there's only one way to end it. Thank you all for playing in this mini-series. Thank you all for watching. And I don't think we'll ever see these characters again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.